Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jeannie and we're going to check and see what's on the hook today. This is what's been on the hook is this beautiful velvet cardigan. And for those of you who shop for yarn and are crocheters, you've probably seen this velvet yarn, maybe at Joann's or somewhere like that. And when I first saw it, I thought, gee, I'd like to make something to wear out of that because it's so soft. And a cardigan would be a natural choice. So I Googled to see if I could find a pattern, and one did come up. It was the velvet cardigan, easy enough to remember, and it's by Maria's Blue Crayon. And I'll put a link down below to the pattern, and it's a free pattern. So you can go right out there and print it off and make one of these. They're quite beautiful and wonderful, and they're warm. The pattern calls for 2 to 3 skeins, and if you're going to make anything larger than a small, you should go ahead and purchase 3 skeins, because it took 2 skeins for me to make this one, and I had about a foot left of yarn when I got finished with the ribbing. So there wasn't much left. I would buy 3 skeins again if I was going to make it exactly like this pattern. Now I'm going to stand up and let you see how long it is, because it's a very long pattern. It is probably mid-thigh. I don't know if you can see that. I'll step back out here. And it's a very long cardigan. There are no buttons along the front. It's just, it just hangs free. And it's quite lovely. It's not quite as warm as wool, because it's made out of 100% polyester. And here is the label that came on the yarn. It's called Bernat Velvet. It has 315 yards on here, so it took about 630 yards to make this cardigan. And this color is called Vapor Gray. The colors on my computer didn't look exactly like this, so I wanted to tell you the color, and I'll write it down in the description too. If you like this color, it's really like a deep blue, almost a navy, and it's quite beautiful. It's a size 5 yarn weight, and it called for a K hook, and that's the one that I made it with. It's a 6.5 millimeter for those of you who use millimeters. I use letters because that's how I've always crocheted, with letters. But anyway, to move on, I wanted to show this to you and let you know that it didn't take long to make. It was very simple. The pattern is made in double crochet, so it's very, very easy. There is a ribbing along the front and along the sleeves that is the back post, front post crochet stitch. Is very easy to do, not hard at all. So a beginner could grab some velvet yarn and make this in probably several days. Could probably get it done. There is some sewing. You sew the sleeves here and then down here, and you still have to sew the sleeve in. So there is a little bit of sewing involved, but once you get it done, it's quite beautiful. You get a lot of compliments on it. So that is what's been on the hook. I wanted to show you what's on my hook now. I, of course, since I love this so much, I went back and I got some more. And they had, I think, 4 skeins of this, and I bought 2 because I was going to adjust the pattern. Wasn't going to make it quite as long. So I bought 2 skeins of this velvet yarn in Quiet Pink is the name of the color. So, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And I have made, this is my work in progress, I've made all the pieces, including, this is a sleeve that I've made. I've already got the ribbing on the end of it. All I have to do is sew it on. And the sweater is basically made. And when you make the sweater, it's kind of interesting. You make the back, you make the entire back, and then you crochet here and make the front, and then you join on over here and make the other front. So there are no shoulder seams in the sweater. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, I made this much shorter. This is a much shorter, probably about 18 inches shorter than the blue one that I made. So hopefully I'll have this finished by my next video and I'll be modeling it for you. So that's my work in progress. I wanted to show you too a product, because I promised you I would do that in my first video, that I would be reviewing some products. So I wanted to show this because this is what I take when I travel. I do travel a lot in the car, and so when I'm going somewhere, I always take my crochet with me, and my husband can attest to that. Anyway, I bought this item. It's called a yarn drum, and those of y'all who crochet a lot may have seen it. I think I got it at Joann's actually, and you can also order them online. But it has a little pocket on the front where you can quickly grab your scissors or your crochet hook. You can just stick it right in there, and then a good sized project will fit in here. It's quite big. It's quite big, and you can actually crochet through the top of it. So you put your yarn in there, and you would feed your yarn through this hole, and then it can flop around in there and not get all over the car. And you can actually do a double. I made something one time that was a double strand, and I put the 2 skeins in there and pulled each one out through one of these holes, and it worked out great. So I like the yarn drum. It is very handy. It's got a nice zipper around the edge of it, and it's got a great handle on it too. And it actually came with a shoulder strap, but there's no way I was going to use it with a shoulder strap. I didn't really need that, so it's probably somewhere in my stash somewhere. But you can just throw it around and set it. It sets up very nicely in the car, so you don't have to be carrying your stuff in bags. So I thought I would show this to you. I really like it. I use it all the time with my crocheting. So I just wanted to mention that. So join me next time when we find out what's on the hook.